Hello and welcome to this theater talk about Doubt, a Parable by John Patrick Shanley. My name is Sarah Ellen Stevens. I'm a teaching artist with Roundabout Theater Company, and I am so excited to be here with you. I'm excited to be here with you.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Hi, everybody. I'm Heidi Stallings, and I'm a teaching artist here at the Roundabout Theater Company, and I am so excited to talk about this revival of Doubt, a Parable.
Full disclosure, this production is currently in rehearsal, so we haven't seen it yet, but we're very familiar with the play. I've had the opportunity to play Mrs. Muller, one of the characters in the play once. I cannot wait for this.
Well, let's talk a little bit about John Patrick Shanley, who is the playwright. He was born in 1950 in the East Tremont section of the Bronx, New York City. He is an Irish Catholic. He won the Pulitzer Prize for the original production of Doubt and the Tony Award for Best Play. But he's probably, best known for his Academy Award winning screenplay of Moonstruck, starring Cher and Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
And that really got him started. Yeah, he really did. He's written over 23 plays. The first that he was produced, Danny in the Deep Blue Sea, which was just revived this season.
Nice.
And his next play is going to be produced this season as well, and it's called Brooklyn Laundry.
So it's very exciting to see that Doubt has another iteration. It's got to be exciting for the director of this production at Roundabout, Scott Ellis, who you all know as the interim artistic director and who has served as the associate artistic director since 1998. He's a very celebrated theater and television director, has won many awards.
So let's talk about the play. So it's set in the backdrop of 1964 America. It takes place at a Catholic school and church in the Bronx in New York City. And the story revolves around a priest and the extraordinarily strict Sister Aloysius, who is the fearsome principal of the school. And she suspects Father Flynn of having an inappropriate relationship with the first Black student at the school. And this prompts her to question her thoughts about the innocence or the guilt of Father Flynn, which then results in her wrestling with the idea of her own doubts.
So tell me what resonates with you about this play, about this story.
Well, what initially resonates with me, actually, it surprised me. And it's the title of the play. The title of the play, the full title, is Doubt, a Parable. And I was thinking, well, what does that mean? And Shanley wants us to look at it through that lens, perhaps, the lens of a different kind of a story. And I'm a really big, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a huge fan of folk and fairy tales and fables and parables. But a parable is not a fable. It has a different animal. And so it's my understanding that a parable is a simple story which is used to teach a moral or a spiritual lesson. And if you think about that, that's exactly what Sister Aloysius does in the play, which she takes the action, makes the moral choice. That is when the door swings open and doubt versus certainty comes in.
I'm so glad that you expanded upon it being a parable. The very first line of the play, what do you do when you're not sure? Almost begins the parable, right? Doubt, a parable. What do you do when you're not sure? And the ways in which the characters of this play ask that question of themselves and navigate that question throughout the course of the story. And if it is a parable, and which it is, and it is in the title, then Shanley must be asking us on some level as well to take action.
Yes, absolutely.
From what resonates with us and how that question might infiltrate itself into our lives and the different ways it may reflect and refract for us has always stayed with me. It's important to me that this takes place months after the Civil Rights
64,
Act
right.
was enacted, and there's this huge change. There's a lot of vulnerable communities, not only Black people, queer people, and we are living in a world of desegregation and trying to balance equality. We just started that, and there's so much bubbling fear, anger, anxiety, stress, hope, longing, desire, concern that is surrounding all of the elements of this play. And we should be able to get a sense of every bit of it. Before we wrap, I wanted to end this with a bit of a parting question.
Okay.
So on our Upstage guide at roundabouttheater.org, there's an interview with John Patrick Shanley, and I wanted to lift up a quote. He says, "We are, as a group, experiencing looking back at a time of evident stability that's in the play. Sister Aloysius thinks she's protecting a way of life that will be ongoing, and in fact, she's protecting a way of life that's about to be swept away." So as we sit in this time of unknowing and uncertainty, or at least sometimes it might feel that way, and it might feel a little unstable, I wanted to ask all of you, and of myself, how do you navigate doubt?
How do you navigate doubt? I think that's a fantastic way to end this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much again.
See you at the theater.